Well, good evening and welcome to the Signs and Seasons broadcast on today, the 4th day, the 12th month, December 4th. And this evening, I want to share some more information with you on the metaphysical significance or the underlying meaning of this season of light. So very much misunderstood. And it is to our disadvantage because it's a very special time of year that the ancients used to celebrate as the Feast of Light, the night of the Feast of Light. And of course, we also know it as the winter solstice. There's a time when the planet is literally flooded with light. And so we want to take advantage of this by whatever name we call it, because we all too often have a tendency to throw away the baby with the washwater. So many people these days, I would say 75% of the global population, think that there's nothing to be gained by focusing on what the Christmas holidays, as they generally call these days. But we need to look back into history. And if we check, we'll find that most of the ancient cultures, Aboriginal cultures, knew that this was a very special time of year. And so I want you for the rest of this month, continuously remind us that we have to, those of us, particularly those of us who are seeking to enhance our spiritual development, our spiritual consciousness, to benefit yourself, to include yourself in this celebration of light that is anointing the planet as we speak. What happens, as I mentioned before, is that we have these 4 solar holidays, holy days: vernal equinox, autumn equinox, the winter solstice, and the summer solstice. And so at these particular points, the Creator has thank you, dear. The Creator has, thank you, Carolyn. At these particular points, the Creator has arranged it so that the earth would get charged with a fresh surge of energy. And I want to apologize to you once again. I'm going to do my best to arrange my schedule so that we can be more on point these days, all right? At 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can call today, if you will, 9, I don't know how to make that area there, but the number to call me now is 916-628-5910. If you would like for me to take a brief look at your energies, 916-628-5910, and give you some insights in how you may advantageously use the energy field that you're moving into now, as we move towards the first of the year, okay, this new cycle, okay, 916-628-5910. And so I want to explain to you just what this particular time of the year means and the rituals that we generally go through. So I want to look at it, let's say, from a Christian perspective, and I will send you out a gift of spiritual empowerment document I put together about, oh goodness gracious, about 15 years ago in Washington, D.C. for my dear good friend, Bishop George Stallings. He was going to be on the program on WOL. You see, artistic illustrations of of a totally evolved individual. That would be the totally evolved human, whether it's Buddha, Krishna, Muhammad, and so forth. So the Christ body or Christmas represents that time of year when represents that achievement, that attainment, when the person's crowned, when their chakras and spiritual centers in the head have been fully activated. And this, brothers and sisters, is actually what the 8-pointed star represents. So you see behind me, you see this this image here. And this image here shows us the 7 chakra system. And these 7 chakras are opened in the fully evolved spiritual being, female or male. And that is this is the time of year when the planet is flooded with high frequency energy. You see, we have not been taught properly what this awesome human organism is. It is considered the crown of creation. Those of you who are studying the metaphysical sciences would understand that there was at one time a theory of transmigration that was taught. And transmigration meant that the conscious being that we are went through 8,400,000 life forms to get the human form. And that this is the crown of creation, meaning that this is the only organism that we know that can take the full potencies of cosmic energy, of course, in a minute dose. And so the higher forces, the higher angels, the higher beings celebrate that, really look at that, of course, as a wonderful, awesome achievement. And so when we say that, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven, as you're created in heaven, when the scriptures tell us that, it means that true perfection of the human being, the human organism, is when that crown chakra, and that crown chakra on the Christmas tree is represented or symbolized by the 8-pointed star. Because 8, as we may remember or know, is the energy of mastery. Involution, when you make the 8, it's involution and evolution. And so that's what the light, the star on top of the tree represents, tree. The other stars, there should be at least 7 of them. They would represent the chakras that we are along, that begin at the base of the spine to the crown of the head. You see, we have too often, as I remind us, we're throwing away the baby with the bath water, because we're saying, okay, I don't want the Christmas tree. The human organism has always been associated, identified by higher beings. It's a tree. When you turn it upside down, the head is the bulb. You see, it's a tree. It's an electrical network. And so the purpose of this human organism, this biocomputer, we understand that Mother Nature created this biocomputer so we can download the XM frequencies that impact the earth 24/7. And then we, blessed creatures that we are the only organism that can absorb all of these frequencies. I was just a little while back in Walmart getting some water, and the water, the fountain is sitting, or the dispenser is sitting at the end of the aisle, a whole aisle, where there's all kind of intoxicating substances, wine and whiskey and beer and all of that toxic stuff. That's why it's intoxication, because we're filling our bodies with toxins. And so I was just standing there, sad to see how many people are frequenting, running out of all ages, and we still haven't gotten the message that the reason we have all of these toxic beverages is because the human organism is designed to be high. It's designed for euphoria. And the elitists, the powers that be, because there's some very powerful, knowledgeable individuals in the so-called New World Order, in the global management team. So it's known that this organism is designed to be high. We don't know it. the average person, 90% of the population, has no idea that this organism is designed for euphoria. When we have it in the scriptures, in the book of Revelations, the seven seals. The seven seals, what that represents, and these, once again, the bulbs on this, the lights on this particular diagram represent those seven seals open. Well, so far, we've just gotten to the third seal, because the fourth seal is the heart chakra. And once again, when you look at the Statue of Liberty, those 7 points on her crown represent the seven seals. When you see the serpent coming through the head of Nefertiti, that represents the third eye. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. The Master Jesus quoted as saying. And so Christmas is that time when the cosmos gets a gift. Our solar system is blessed with a gift of light. Everyone in every religion, everyone on the planet, everybody who's trying to open up what we in the Christian world call the Christ Center, the Bhagavad Gita, we're celebrating the ascension of the Atman, the Christ Center in the teachings of ancient Kemet, the monad in theosophy. Truth is one, Pastor May. Okay. And so this time of the year, the reason we say, okay, in September, the energy impacts the surface of the planet. And in the Immaculate Conception. And then between September and December 24th, it moved closer and closer into the center of the earth. And then on the night of this December 24th, what the ancients celebrated as the night of the Feast of Light, the winter solstice, Christmas, is when the energy enters the womb of the earth and inspires anyone who's striving to enhance their spiritual consciousness. When a person decides, you know what, I want to adopt Islam, Christianity, I want to follow the path of the Buddhists, I want to get involved in the teachings of ancient Kemet. Whatever system they decide, that's the awakening of that divinity, and that's what the Master Jesus, the birth of Jesus, represents. And then what happens is that person says, okay, but the person has to understand that that impulse is born in a manger with animals, because the human organism is an animal organism. It's divine. It has the potential to become divine. And so what happens is, and this is the article I wrote, is that artistic illustrations of the totally evolved crown of creation, who has developed his or her highest spiritual potential, is what Christmas pictures and depictions of Christmas represent. And so the Apostle Paul was speaking of this perfected state of consciousness and being when he said, I travail in birth, till Christ be formed in you. So that means that the parts are already, the constituents are already there in every individual. It says, Christ in you, the hope of glory. So our glory, to our striving, our desire, our seeking success, the essence of success is achieved when we find that Christ, when we put the pieces of that puzzle together, by whatever name we call it. That's why we feel so unfulfilled. That's why we're trying to piece this climax together, whether it's possessions, money, sex, fame, whatever it is. Because we feel this inner drive, this inner desire to move to another level of consciousness. And the powers that be, this is part of the article that I want to put out sometime between now and the end of the year on the matrix. Because the matrix is this maze that we're in as we struggle to feel this climax. to reach this climax. Like the crack addict who chases it all day long and just doesn't get it. Because we can't get it until these 7 chakras are opened. And I sent the paper out to, I texted to several individuals I didn't mean to text today, but a sister sent me a text this morning and said to me, she was saying that we have to find out whether Roy Moore doesn't get elected. That's not even the issue. The issue right now, brothers and sisters, is it's time for us in these so-called end times. End times means when a funding cycle is over. It's not a punishment. It's just the energy cycle is over. It's time for people on the planet Earth, because of the heightened frequency, the days going by faster. It's time for us to move to another level of consciousness. That's why we find so many people getting sicker, more violence, because everything's speeding up. But those of us who are trying to enhance our consciousness are also getting the gift of heightened light, heightened frequencies. But wherever you're going now, you're getting pushed more to. Yes, brother Anthony, I'm so glad you called. I'm on Facebook TV right now, but I'm glad you're on because I wish you'd say a few words, and this wasn't planned. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm good, sir. Always good, and always glad to hear someone whom I love so dearly. And this is Brother Amari from Atlanta, Georgia. This is not a planned call. At least we didn't plan it. But I'd like for you to say a few words to the people who are listening to this program. I'm explaining to them the spiritual significance of the Christmas holiday. I'm not imposing on you, am I?
No, sir.
Yeah, so this brother's been with me since 2003. And he found me again, him and his wife, from I guess our last lifetime involvement. And he was the one who actually encouraged me. I thank you again, Brother Amari, to record this rap album. I have a rap album, brothers and sisters. It's called Spiritual Redemption, which I could not have done without this brother Anthony, Amari also, because he encouraged me to do it. I never heard the word. What is it? Wordsmith? Is that what you said, Amari?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir. That's something you always been. Something you always been.
Thank you, sir. I never
knew.
To me,
you always have been a wordsmith to me.
Thank you, sir. This brother, without his help, he actually lives in Atlanta, and without his assistance, I would not have completed this project. So, folks, we want you to introduce you that for Christmas. Okay. So, if you stay with us for a few minutes, okay, brother?
Yes, sir.
So, I was just explaining that the Christmas then, in other words, we have in us the Christ. It said, Christ, I travail in birth to Christ be formed in you, that we all have the constituents of the Christ being within us. Brother Amari has been training with me, working with me since 2003. So he's going to be traveling around giving a representative and helping young people who want to master the art of the whole rapping art, help them to learn how to look at it from a metaphysical point of view. Brother, while we're on, can you give us a little insight in what rap used to be, what the origin of it was, and what is degenerated to at this point?
I like the way Chuck D put it. Chuck D said, rap used to be the black man's news. A lot of rap, a lot of poetry, even if you take it back to, the beginning of rap in Harlem, they were rapping about things that were going on in the neighborhood, just to try to notify, and tell the neighbors, just to talk to the neighbors. It was just another way to talk. It started out just as another conversation piece, that rhymed, and it always stuck with me, just how aware, we were in the neighborhoods, around the time, when rap started. It's amazing to me the level of consciousness, that was present in the neighborhood, and in Harlem, you know, at that time, you know, when rap started, you know, enough to have those kind of conversations going. You know, really inspirational in terms of, you know, having conversations, you know, just conversations within the community.
Yeah, I'm smiling, sir, because Harlem's my hometown, you know, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But I still had to come out of Harlem and meet you in Atlanta to even know what you're saying now. But are you saying that rap was revived in Harlem? Because I understand it is an ancient art, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're saying it was revived in the Harlem experience.
Yes, sir. A lot of people call it the birthplace of hip hop.
That's really interesting.
Yes, sir. It's considered the Mecca. You know, it's considered the Mecca of hip hop right now. You know.
Well, sir, what do you see as the future? If I can intervene, what do you see as the future of the whole rap situation? I know where it's at now, but you do have some brothers and sisters out there that are moving into it in a conscious way. That is right.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I see the future, and that's pretty much what the future of rap is to me. You know, rap is taking it back to its essence. You know, pretty much on its own. You know, it's going back to where it started. You know, and a lot of the new artists that are coming out now, you know, that are just starting out. You know, they're the content of what they're rapping about right now is automatically geared towards awareness and geared towards consciousness. You know, a lot of new artists are coming out. You know, they sit down and, you know, these are the types of poems that they're writing. You know, this is the type of material that the new artists are writing right now.
So what I want to do via this program, folks, and with brothers such as Amari and other young people, is to help us to understand the way that these teachings, these raps, this whole spoken word can be used to remind us to revive, to differentiate between recreation and recreation. Because what we call recreation is doing just that, recreation. When there was a time when all the art forms, is that, would you say, sir, that rap and spoken word first originated to teach us recreation, you know, in essence, rather than where it's degenerated to?
Yes, sir, I would say that. Yes, sir, absolutely.
So one of the things that I'm glad that we had a chance to connect on is on that particular note. So, folks, one of the extraordinary achievements led Jesus the Christ, Buddha, Muhammad, Krishna, the Christ, is to help us to understand how to use these teachings on a higher level, how to return recreation back to recreation. And so one reason why I brought this program forward is, and on this station, and I'm going to be interviewing people in depth, such as Brother Amari and other progressive spiritual personalities. I have Sister Carolyn Bethel, who's going to be with us in a couple of weeks. She's into showing us how to use the power of suggestion. People call it hypnosis. We don't practically understand that much, but to help us to integrate the various parts of our being and to reach those subconscious aspects of our being. And so I want you to please share this information with your of our program. Any guests that you know who you would like to feature on the program, please help us, you know, get the attention. Our brother Adis out in Panama. So you know, so many people that I've met over the years, and I had the blessing of spending so much time in Washington D.C. Met some wonderful people, and I've actually done a lot of traveling and met a lot of very interesting people. St. Croix, St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, California. Oh my goodness! So this is a wonderful, wonderful time. Brings tears in my eyes when I think of all the beautiful people that we've met. Brother Amari, what kind of message do you think the major message our young people should be focused on giving these days through the spoken word, through through rap, so-called rap. What would you say about that, sir?
I would say that a lot of the hot button topics, just what we're dealing with right now, just in terms of what we're dealing with in terms of every day, in your neighborhoods, in the news, things that are going on in the neighborhoods. I think that, the younger generations, just tend to have more conversations, in terms of raising awareness as to what's going on around you and having more understanding about things that are going on in your face, things that are going on in your neighborhoods, things that are going on in the government, that you might understand, that you may have a friend that don't understand, and once you explain it to them and they hear you talk about it, it helps them get a better understanding of it. So, I think the younger generation, more of this on raising each other's awareness, would help a lot. It would help out a lot just for us to have conversations to say, hey, are you aware of this? Are you aware of that? Did you know this about this? Did you know this about that? Everything from, if you see homeless, you see people homeless, or you see things going on with some that you don't understand in school. A lot of students, talk about, raising awareness within their schools, just with their friends.
So what are you seeing?
With their classmates, everything.
What are you seeing? What are you in your 30s, right, sir?
Sir?
Oh, you're in your mid-30s, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you seeing in your age and younger, at your age and younger? It's a very interesting transition I've witnessed, from my limited perspective as an elder. What are you seeing in Atlanta, since it's now supposed to be the Hollywood of this era? What would you see? What is that? How's that affecting, that particular city and the residents? Is it as permeated, let's say, as the atmosphere maybe in Vegas? You see, Vegas has a strip, but many of us hardly even know we're in Vegas because you have that other kind of population. What has the energy of hip hop done for the general consciousness in Atlanta? Has it changed it much?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I mean, since '96, I would say since '94, '96, the emergence of the group Outkast and Goody Mob and Organized Noise and the Dungeon Family. You had groups down here that had been trying for years, just raise awareness within their neighborhoods. And I think that's how it started. They just started having awareness, black awareness period. Just in their neighborhoods. You had Outkast, you had a lot of groups. Really, you had a couple of groups that really wanted to show the rest of the world that, hey, we can rap. And we don't feel like we just rapping like bubblegum rap. We feel like we can rap like how they do in New York. And you had groups, that pioneered, the Southern Sound. Outkast and Goody Mob and Dungeon Family get a lot of accolades for opening, just kicking the doors open for the South, because, before '94, '95, '96, the South was considered, a big part, just, a lot of party music and, just a lot of, just not necessarily what hip hop was, what rap was created for. And a lot of people didn't take the South serious at all, in terms of rap, until you had these guys that actually stood up and said, hey, we can actually rap. We're rapping about things that are going on in my family. I'm rapping about, how the taxes are too high. My uncle, you had guys that saying that they got uncles and family members that complain about the taxes are too high in my neighborhood. So, we wrote a song about how, the taxes are affecting our neighborhood, and they don't pay those same taxes down the street. So, but before then, a lot of rap was in the South was just a lot of just parties, just a lot of party sounds, and just something to dance to. Nobody looked at the South as if y'all was even that smart, until they even start to hear these kind of songs start to come out. They thought that the South, it took it took Outkast and Goody Mob a long time just to get the South on the map in terms of rap, because a lot of people felt like they were just one group, you know, and a lot of youngsters in the South couldn't produce that kind of sound and that kind of material like that.
All right, well, sir, I have two questions there. One is, are you saying that rap has progressed in its influence since its inception? And my other question is, would you say that African American rap artists have had more influence on the global consciousness than other rappers?
Yes, sir. I would say yes to both of those. I would say yes to both questions. For one, because you know, the awareness in the South, you know, it wasn't in terms of music, it wasn't being talked about. You know, and a lot of reasons why the music business shifted from New York, you know, you know, the music started to shift from New York to Atlanta, is the main reason why was because of the material, you know, and because of what Outkast, 33,000, the Big One were talking about, you know, what Goody Mob was talking about. You know, you had a lot of executives in the music business, you know, that felt like there could be more sound, you know, there could be more to it in Atlanta. You know, there could be more to it than what we know about. You know, if we got these kind of artists that have this kind of awareness in terms of the type of material that they're creating and putting out, you know, we could possibly create a bigger thing out of this coming out of the South.
What influence do you think that the rap artists have had of people across the globe, whether it's England, France, Africa, whatever? What would your response be to that question?
Yeah, I would say that across the globe, the influence, you know, a lot of it came from. I'm not sure if I understand the question.
Okay, again, what? In other words, we have rappers now all over the place, and I'm saying, are you saying that a lot of that influence has started from African Americans and their input into that industry? Where would you say is the point from which the energy has emerged? Has it been here in America? Can brothers like well, I guess I can say Tupac and Biggie, you know, people, or even before then, were they primary influences for rappers around the globe?
Yes, sir. I would say so. Absolutely. Because you had like-minded individuals around the globe that probably wanted to write these kind of songs and, you know, didn't have the inspiration nor the courage to try to even go and, you know, to write these kind of songs until they heard, you know, a Biggie or, you know, a Chuck D or Tupac or KRS-One. You know, after they heard of KRS-One, you know, a lot of people felt like, wow, I can't believe, you know, we could do songs like this. Okay. You know, I've been wanting to say these kind of things for a long time. You know, and the KRS-One said, you know, around the globe, you know, it inspired a whole, probably, you know, groups, hundreds of groups of people, you know, around the globe that felt the same way. You know, and they were just amazed to hear probably their favorite artists like a KRS-One or Big Daddy Kane or Rakim or somebody like that, you know, come out and say that. Is
there any particular artist that you can advise people listening that would be appropriate to give to some young people for a Christmas present, you know, for this, that would give them some light, some insight in terms of their understanding, just offhand?
Well, tell me, if they wanted to start with something right now, I would give them your album right now. I would tell them to go and listen to Spiritual Redemption, Baba G. I would recommend them your album right now, because your album is the exact essence of what's going on with the music business right now.
Okay, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
I compare your album to a Rakim. You know, Rakim Rakim to me is the bar. He set the bar for what rap should be. You know, and you know, he got the first $1 million chain in rap, you know, things like that, because, you know, the labels wanted to reward Rakim, you know, for actually talking about the universe, you know, for actually talking about space, for actually talking about the things that he was talking about in his material. And I think your album is almost like an exact parallel to that type of material that Rakim was putting out.
Okay, I appreciate that, folks. We didn't plan this, but you can get if you contact me, we'll find a way to get you more information on the album. It's Spiritual Redemption. We have 10 songs on there, and the songs are all focused on higher spiritual consciousness. For me, growing up in Harlem with Moses Powell and Gangbusters, and the next song goes into respect of elders. Which one of the songs would you personally like that we did together on the album?
I personally like the genetic perspective. I personally like Cold Black is Back.
Okay.
I mean, I'm biased on the whole album, and I really love the whole album. I really do love the whole album.
Folks, this is such. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't think you can go wrong with every song kind of pulls you in and kind of feeds you into the next song. Kind of like in sequential order. I think if you start to listen to the song, to the album, even from the end, it'll take you back to the beginning. Is what I kind of I mostly like about it most.
Once again, folks, I don't know how to, and I'm always doing this because I have to acknowledge seriously that I'm doing this. The album had made it this far in the ministry because of folks like you, like Amari, like Carolyn Bethel, goodness gracious, Kathleen Halley, Carrie Crawford, on and on and on. Because if not for that, Brother Jay, if not for you folks, I would not be, and I definitely would have not have done this album, Anthony Amari, if it was not for you. Thank you again.
I thank you for doing it. I thank you for doing it. I thank you for doing it. For me, it was another way for people to hear, to learn from you. It was just another form, it was another avenue for you to take, just to get the message across the people, in another form, in another way.
Well, I'm glad you're still with me.
I felt like you had so much knowledge, I felt like there was so much information, that somebody could pull something from every song on that album.
So the third,
parents should buy the album. I think parents should buy the album just for if they have future up and coming rappers in their family, they could buy that album just so they could see how it should be done.
Wait, and Brother Amari also convinced me to put commentaries with each one of the songs. So it has the rap and commentaries, or the song and commentaries. What is it? A genetic perspective goes into why we should understand how to respect our elders. All situations that need to be dealt with right now. Taxpayer goes into super taxpayer goes into explain that we're allowing these instruments to dumb us down and losing the personal touch. And that's a fact. This brother, what's his name? Brother Amari, Brother Iba. He has a wonderful album online. He talks about how we're allowing these machine auto something. I have the name of it, but he goes into EBA. Is that how you spell his name, brother? But he has this album here.
Yes, sir.
He has an album awesome on auto, whatever it is. Then the next one is Don't Play House. Don't Play House explains that unless you move in, that we're playing with sex. And we don't really understand the powerful influences that the person you sleep with changes your karma. Electromagnetically, it changes your whole continence. Men really don't understand that there's 40 drops of blood make 1 drop of sperm, and the powers that be are showing us how to teaching us to draw the most potent substance in our system away. The next one is Keep the Nookie New. It's explaining to women the value of their bodies and the precious, they are the crown of creation. They are the feminine nobility, which we have to really understand more and more, because there's 2 sides to the story, for example, of this sexual harassment. We have to get women to understand their power and how to protect that power. The next one is Cold Black is Back. It explains that it's time for us to stand up and take the stage. The next song is, what's the next one? Goodness gracious. what's in the, the next song is goes into the whole news media, the whole way in which keeping it honest. Okay, the other song goes into Newtown situation and how the Newtown is taking us off the trip. Okay, and so we have to really keep our minds focused on the last song. Of course, is end times. That there's a breakdown in our moral structure across the planet, and we have to fix that. We have to begin to differentiate between God's laws and man's preferences. A person wants to pursue a gay lifestyle, a person wants to do the transgender thing. We need to understand that's their preference, but no holy books across the planet condone that behavior. No one's condemning you. No, because in each lifetime we go back and forward to different sexes. So nobody's condemning you, but we need to make it clear to our young people that transgender and gay lifestyles are your preference. So people can decide what they want to do. So listen, I want to thank you. So to continue and close, Brother Amara had to leave. But to help you to thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you as soon as I come off air in about 10 minutes. This broadcast will be live, of course, and we put it online right away. We also have it on Facebook. YouTube. So I want to and for you people who I didn't mention that you've helped me, Brenda Savoy. Oh my God, I couldn't have did it without her. So many folks out there, Thumb Aware, that have been there to help all Brother Sabu, Hakeem, on and on and on. So if I didn't mention your name, please, I didn't come prepared like an Academy Award with all the people who helped out. Okay, but I'm here because of you being there for me. Thank you so very much. And so what we want to do is understand, we're going to finish this, take it up tomorrow again, that this, I want you to help people to understand the spiritual significance of Christmas, the metaphysical significance of Christmas. And so we're going to talk about this more tomorrow. I may, if I don't do it, I'll be definitely on Wednesday, because it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I want you to please send me your information, okay, to Gabriel Amlak. Please do it, and I will send you I will email you, okay, the information so you can I'll give you my email right now, okay? So you can send me, I'm Gabriel Amlak, 11, it's not capital, 11, okay? And I'm at, where am I at? At gmail.com. Okay.com. And if you send me your information, please, then I will send you a copy of the Metaphysical Significance of Christmas. I just ask that you share it because it's chock full of information on the chakras, the 7 seals, and the meaning of the tree. I'm going to talk tomorrow about the fact that Wednesday, that we should go through at least until January 6th. Of course, I keep my tree up until April. People have to throw it out when I'm not home. Isn't it? But they have a store in Louisiana, in New Orleans, where it's a Christmas store. They have the all year long. I love that store. But just understand the deeper meaning of it. I'm super sentimental, obviously, and so I would like to see some of the spirit return. So never mind that Nimrod, whoever used the Christmas tree wrong, the tree of life, okay, is a document, is a diagram that's been used in the metaphysical circles for years and years and years. And I wish I could have it here right now. I don't have it right on hand, okay? But that is one of the diagrams that has been in the metaphysical circles for years. And so rather than throw it on the side, no, understand that all these teachings have deep merit, okay? This is the tree of life. And this diagram is the Kabalistic diagram, the tree of life. And it shows the 10 spheres that we travel, in our journey to a higher consciousness, okay? So please understand that the tree has a spiritual connotation to it also. But what's so wonderful is that it's all talking about the human organism. Because up here, you see the crown. This is the Christ center. You see? So please free your mind from all this superstitious stuff. And understand that there's a deeper meaning to it. We have to stop throwing away the baby with the bathwater. People have misused so-called religion, but the word religion means to bind back. And so we're using this particular time of year is a time when you and I can bind ourselves back tighter to the cosmic source, the light of the world. So I want to thank you. So I'm so happy that my dear brother, remember one more story. When I was in DC, when I first wrote this article on the significance of Christmas, it was for Bishop George Stallings. He was going on the WOL, and to talk about Christmas, I wanted to share this information with him, with his audience. And they didn't get it to him in time. Well, I didn't get it to them, something like that. And when I saw it, I said, oh my God, they didn't get the program, wanted all that labor and everything. And then somebody called me to eat me and said, Minister Amlak, they read the article for the last 10 hours. And I said, oh, brother, oh, you little faith. So listen, folks, thank you for being here. I love you, those of you who are, because you're into a higher consciousness. And that's what love is really all about, There's a book I read years ago on the selfish aspect of love, I think it was, and saying that we love people who are going in a direction that we would like to go. And so I'm glad there's so many of you out there increasingly that are moving towards the light, okay? So I will see you. Remember in your prayers, please. I will hopefully, with the goodwill of the Creator and your prayers, see you on Wednesday, if not before, on the same Be Live broadcast. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.